Hey guys, welcome back to Christian Encouragement Video Sessions. I'm sitting down here with my grandfather, Cecil Dozier. I'm going to call him Grandpa because that's who he is to me throughout this interview.
I've been put down, coat blues, all kind of fun and games. But you know, one thing I have to say is God has always been faithful and just, and He's always lifted me up. He's lifted me up from all. I don't know why these things happened. I suspected after I'd been through what I did to start with the blood clots in the lungs and the unnecessary heart surgery I had, or lung surgery I had, and the pancreatitis and all that stuff when it went in and gutted me.
Yeah.
And they took everything I didn't need, my appendix, my gallbladder, everything I could get by without, they took out.
Yeah.
And because they didn't want to have to do that surgery, I got a scar from clear around me where they busted, cut me wide open. And so anyway, I know I had fallen away from the Lord. Mm-hmm. And about for 5 or 6 years there, mine got to be about as rough as the guys I was working with. He's working around railroad roaders. There's an awful lot of them that can't hardly complete a sentence without a bad word in it.
Yeah.
But anyway, I could cuss with the best of them, except one thing I could not do. I couldn't take the Lord's name in vain.
Yeah.
That just stopped me cold. But anyway, I had a spell again with my lungs. I guess I was losing clots again. And this might have been before the pancreatitis, now that I think about it, but it doesn't matter. It was just another episode. I went to, we were down in Independence down Thanksgiving, and I spent 5 days in the hospital down there, which if I could figure it out, that's just a good place to go to die. Not even a good place to go to die, because in the 5 days I was there, they changed my top sheet once. Well, they changed my bottom sheet once and never changed my top sheet at all. And I laid in a puddle of water. I was sweating profusely, and they'd come in and roll me up out of the slop and shoot me in the butt with a needle and then lay me back down in the mud to get water again. But anyhow, I got feeling well enough to come home, and I had a little shell on the back of the truck, and I laid it back there, and your grandmother drove me home. But about 3 o'clock in the morning, I woke up and I was hurting. And I said, I got to go to the hospital. She said, why you haven't taken it? I said, no, I think this is all God's plan. I said, no, I'll be fine. So I got down there, and they were remodeling the hospital. And they had the emergency room door. I know I'd seen it before many times. They had a phone by the door, and when you come there after hours, you just picked up the phone and the nurse would answer. And there wasn't an emergency room there, but they'd come down and take you in. And but I got there and the phone wasn't there. So I walked to the other end of the hospital, which is a long block. At that time, that parking lot went uphill and then downhill. I could see a light at the other end of it. But I got down where I could read it. It said laundry, and I said, that can't be right. So I went back to the other door, and that time I felt around for the phone because I knew it had, but it lit well enough I could see, but it wasn't lit up like it usually was. But I couldn't find the phone, and I started to go back down to take a check again, and I got about on top of the hill, and I was about to go down. In fact, I'd have went down if I'd went much further. While I was up there on the hill, I come to Jesus, and I said, Lord, I'm coming to meet you, and I'm not ready. Please forgive me.
Yeah.
And at that moment, I can't describe. People think I'm crazy, but a warm cloud just settled over me. Just peaceful peace settled in, and it was amazing. So I know my God is faithful.
Yeah.
Even though we don't deserve it, He's faithful. And I said, well, I'll just go down here and sit down by the door, and they'll find me in the morning. So I got down there, and there the phone was just big as life. I picked the phone up, and somebody come and got me in. About 6 weeks later, I got out of the hospital. But I was losing clots to my lungs and the heart. And I was in a bad way. And they went in and put a strainer in there to stop the clots. And they didn't put a strainer in, they put a clamp over the vein. But anyhow, that got clogged up, and So then the skin started falling, coming off my leg and just looking dead. And they come in and said, if this don't get better by tomorrow, we're gonna take that leg off at the hip. We're gonna take the hip joint and everything, go over and clean that area all out because we gotta do something to stop this. And I thought, oh my. But the next morning they came in and they had been taking my hip high plastic hose off of me and dumping my leg out on the bed because it was just skin and stuff falling off of it. They took it off that morning and the leg was getting pink. So they said, well, waited. And my leg became okay to some degree. I was never able to walk normal. I had to kind of just, if I use it like I did normally, it'd get logged up. But I prayed for 30 years or better for the Lord to heal my leg, and He didn't do it until it was His time.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, I know my mama was praying for you, and I wish I'd asked her. I suspect that she finally says, Lord, whatever it takes, get him back.
Yeah.
And that's what happened on the parking lot that night. It was time.
Yeah.
And so I had a praying mama, and very godly my mother, and very forgiving, understanding woman, amazing woman in my opinion. That's just, and I think about everybody ever knew my mother loved her, and because she couldn't find fault with anybody. In fact, that she had taught us not to find any fault. You couldn't talk anybody down around her. She said, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You don't know what they've been through. You don't know what made them where they're until you walked in their shoes to know exactly what's been. You don't have any reason to criticize anybody.
Yeah.
But, and I had a lot of episodes since then. The heart surgery and the congestive heart. I've had two major back surgeries in the pancreatitis where they went in and gutted me and cleaned me out. But God's always lifted me up.
Yeah.
God's taken real good care of me. As far as for God, I faithfully pay my tithe. I have for as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
Not a lot of it, but it's what I have. And I got involved with Reverend Manning. If anybody ever gets to know Reverend Manning, they'll know he's a worker. Reverend Manning's been doing mission work in Haiti for 60 years. He was called down there by Papa Doc. I know Papa Doc was in power. He didn't know what to expect. He went down there and they took him up to the mansion, up to his office. And he told him, he says, the voodoo down here is just out of control. He said, I need someone to come in and evangelize this island and see if, and try to get people away from that. So when he first started there, he said that it didn't matter where you went on that island, you hear the voodoo drums. Now you don't hear them at all. He had made an appeal for rice because it was malnourished and hungry, and I was trying to decide whether I could afford to give anything. And while I was trying to decide, my wife was still alive then, we'd buy our rice out at Sam's and bring home a bunch of important gallon jugs and put it up. And I processed of putting that in jugs, and I split jars, not jugs, and I spilled probably 2 or 3 pounds on the floor, and I just swept it up in the trash, dumped it in the trash, and about 2 hours later, Jeff, my son-in-law from Florida, sent me a video showing a little Haitian woman down on her knees in the dirt, had 2 or 3 little kids around her, and she's picking up grains of rice one at a time out of the dirt, because that's all they had to eat. And it hit me pretty hard. I just threw away enough to feed her family for probably a month, the way they eat to get by with. So that cemented that for me, and so every month, and I did do what I could afford. With my tithes, I had extra enough to buy I think it's $38.90 for 100 pounds of rice. I can't remember exactly. I'd have to look at my checkbook to see.
It's a lot of rice.
But I send 100 pounds a month, and when I have more, I know when your grandma died and had that insurance money from hers, I sent several tons, and it felt really good to be able to send that much. And then when don't tell anybody, but when the government gave me that $1,200, I didn't need nothing to change for me, but I got that check anyway, or put it in my checking account. So that gave me a chance to buy 2.5 tons. Of course, they had a special on rice at the time, maybe because of this, and we were able to move it. They get 2.5 tons and send down there. And so it makes me feel good when I can give more. But I've been faithful to give that 100 pounds, which don't break me at all. And every month, that's part of it. My tithe plus that. And anyway.
Yeah.
So that's what I do, but I haven't grown up much. I'm still a kid at heart, and people got to take me like I am. I talk too much, and nothing's off limits. I try not to offend anybody unless they need it.
Could you tell us a little bit about your childhood, where you were raised and how you were raised?
Well, I was born into a family of 13 kids. I was 8 of the 13, and I came along just about after the Great Depression was pretty much over, but it was still a lagging problem. Mm-hmm. We're going to see some of that now, I think, too, here as we're coming out of this thing with this. But we didn't have much. And the first year I really remember, and the first memory I have of my mama was when we lived there. Dad was a sharecropper, which is a beautiful way to farm because a third of your crop goes to the landlord, and that's generally where you're going to make your money. Yeah. So what we lived on, basically what we could get from selling eggs and milk and cheese and butter and stuff like that. I mean, cream, I get around to say that as well. We always had chores to do, we always worked, and but we didn't have anything fancy. But you know, I think we're happier than most of the people today. There's only one, let's see, it might have been 2 things, but one thing in particular I did not like. I love a fresh turnip right out of the ground, peeled and eaten. It's still got a nice sweet taste to it. But let that rascal sit around while I'm trying to cook it like they do. It's like eating bitter. It loses its sugar content. And so I didn't care for cooked turnips, and seeing like we had that more than we needed to. We had what we had. We ate what we had.
Yeah.
And so I didn't get fat till I got away from home. None of us did. We got our portion of food, and more often than not, I'd go to bed at night with that gnawing in my tummy.
Yeah.
Wishing I had more, but I wasn't starving to death. That's healthy. And but we did what we had to. We lived there, and a tornado came along in June and damaged the house we was living in. And all I remember about that tornado thing was we was on the hot road. I guess my sisters had loaded us up and taken us down to the neighbors. I think the tornado was pretty much already gone, or shortly there, because my brother is 9 years old, and he's going to go back. He wasn't running, but he got back there by himself, and he seen the tornado, and he come chasing after the rest of us. But anyway, so we moved, and having moved that time of year, we didn't get our garden stuff, didn't get anything canned, there wasn't anything we could take with us. And we got to where we was at, and really didn't have anything to eat, but we found almost a 100-pound bag with very little use out of hog food out there in that barn. And Mom made much out of it. We ate hog food for a while, and it filled your stomach up, and as I don't remember it being real bad.
Yeah. When was the first time you gave your life to Christ? When did you make that decision?
I was probably in the 3rd grade. And I didn't really know much. You know, I just knew what we were supposed to do. And I was all excited about it as a 3rd grader. I was living in the country. I was going house to house telling them, you need to know Jesus, you know. Yeah. Most of them would give me a treat just to get rid of me. I went all over the countryside out there, wherever there's a house, I'd go up there. Went over that one morning, and then people invited me in. There was one of these people that had breakfast about 10 o'clock in the morning. They got to be done chores, and they come in, nothing to do. And I was always ready to eat because I never had too much to eat. So I went in and ate with them and told them about Jesus.
That's so cool.
But that's a kind of fever you ought to have, I think. But then it kind of, you know, I still believed, but I went when Reverend Manny was to take us into church, and I went to the altar call at an age when I knew for sure what I was doing, and re-upped, you know.
Awesome. Yeah.
But yeah, and then my second coming to the Lord was out there in that parking lot a little after 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
In November, and I was dying, and I wasn't ready to go, and that was amazing to me. I still remember that. That's why I was telling that nurse in the hospital. She was saying, "I've drifted away from the Lord." She said, "I don't know if I can get back there," and I said, "You don't have to go back. He's been following you all this time. He said, I will pursue you. I'll not forsake you. All you gotta do is just turn around and say, Lord, please forgive me." And she that was after my heart surgery. She fell down across me and laid there and cried for quite a while and gave her heart to the Lord again.
So God used that. God used you being in the hospital, something that was like hopeless.
It was her turn.
Yeah.
And I think God just used that opportunity, because I've been through that. I know from that parking lot experience, I know I didn't have to turn around and try to retrace my steps back to where I was. I just, Lord, forgive me. I'm coming to meet you and I'm not ready. And it was just instantaneous. That warm cloud settled over me.
Yeah.
Then after your grandma died, and I was devastated.
Yeah.
I was having trouble. Sleeping, and I'd get up and he'd say, "Come on, we'll walk." I'd make it across the street. That's when I'd generally talk to me. I'd collapse on that railing over there and just lay it, cry a while, and he'd say, "Come on, I'll walk with you." So we walked together, and your mom was, "You ever know you're at 3 o'clock in the morning out there walking by yourself?" And I said, "I'm never by myself."
Yeah.
Jesus is with me every step.
Yeah. So, do you have anything just to like pinpoint to encourage the people watching this?
10 points?
Pinpoint.
Oh, pinpoint. Okay. I don't have 10. I can only tell you this from experience, and I know it to be true. You cannot fail going with God. Set your sights on the Lord, and everything else will be taken care of. Don't worry about it. He'll take your fears away. He'll take your worries away. And if you're still struggling, he'll struggle with you. He'll be there right there with you to help you. Even in the hardest times there was, I lost my mama, that was heartbreaking. I lost my wife, that was heartbreaking. But he was there with me to comfort me the whole time. You can't, I don't care what anybody tries to tell you that it ain't real or whatever. God is real. He is the real thing, and he's there for you if you let him be. And you can't go wrong by accepting him as your Savior and ask forgiveness to become a part of the God family. And he will be your Lord and Savior and walk every step with you the rest of your life. And that don't mean everything's going to be perfect, because it rains on the good and the bad alike. But he'll see you through whatever comes your way. I know from my own history, I just know if God can forgive me and love me, the kind of person that I am, everybody's eligible. There's no one that's not eligible. All they got to do is come to seriously, not come and say, "Oh, I'm going to ask you to forgive me, so I'll be okay and I can do what I want." No, come seriously and repent of the life you're living, and ask forgiveness, and you'll be a child of God. Just, you don't have to jump through any hoops, don't have to do anything except be honest and straightforward.
Thank you guys for watching. If you know anyone who'd be encouraged by this, share it. If you don't, go ahead and share it anyway. I'm glad you joined us this week. We'll have another one out next week.